Now faith is the substance of the things hoped for. The word translated there for faith is pistis, substance, hypostasis. Hypostasis translated title deeds. If you get to the national department or the local municipality and you are looking for a house, they will give you a piece of paper. When you look at the piece of paper, in value, it can be photocopied and it's just like anything else. But if it has your name on it, there's an address on it, it has a stamp of the local municipality with the supporting documents of plans, we hereby declare that plot number belongs to. If you are buying from a seasoned person, they will be having a plan of the house which you now own. If you are educated and you're smart, you can look at the scale at the bottom of the plan and you can imagine the real size. If your wife is smart, she can actually begin to design her kitchen, buy her curtains from the piece of paper. This is the hypostasis. That which we have not seen, we have. We have not been to the house, but the title deed says it's your house. If a husband comes home and says, "Sweetie, I bought you a house," if you are a fool, you look at your husband and say, "Can we fit on this piece of paper?" But if you are educated and you verify, start celebrating. Even if you have not seen it yet, but you already have it in possession. I think I'm doing justice there. Therefore, we have the Bible as our hypostasis. We have the Bible, the Word of God, as a title deed. That says, we who were once afar off, now have been brought near. We too have become the children of God. And whatever God has in store for us, even if we have not yet seen it, we own it. We possess it. You can begin to calibrate your own neighbors, because that which you have comes from a mouth that cannot lie. I think I'm done with you, young man, yeah? The Ebenezer story we celebrate in the book of Samuel, it's a journey as we will learn about it. Life is not arrival. Life is a continuous movement. The only constant is change. Those who refuse to change, those who refuse to move, they fossilize into monuments. The movement, therefore, of the organization must also become the movement of the individuals. What brought us here cannot take us there. We've already clarified that. But it's something of importance we need to have a look at. When they were in the wilderness, they had no weapons, but they fought battles. They won battles. They got to Jericho with no single sword or shield. They fought a fortified city. They won the battle without lifting one sword. I want you to notice the methodology and the change which happens when you are in a promised land. They forgot how God had dealt with them in the past. They began to manufacture spears. They began to manufacture swords. They began to manufacture chariots. They began to train each other on how to poke each other with swords. things that they had never done before. There is a danger when a Christian becomes able. Ability is a great disability. When you reach a time when you think that you can handle it, you have just started messing up. Because when you had no weapons, you never turned your back away from a battle. This time you got a sword, you have a shield, you have an army general, you have chariots, and you have horses, and 3 times you are beaten on the same ground. It's almost like the Lord is saying, the way you want to fight your battles, maybe let's allow you to do it your style first. When you have given up and you are beaten, good. We will discuss it. That sounds like my life, you know. Every time I think I got this covered, I just discover I got it messed up. Every time I think I'll sort it out, I end up being sorted out myself. Every time I feel like, no man, I can wiggle my way around this. That's the moment when you discover that at a moment of your sufficiency, you have become deficient. You want to read your passage and you find that they were here before, they got beaten. They came back here again, they got beaten. They came here for the third time around, they started off at the back with fasting, with prayer, with dedications, with offerings, and etc. And by the time they reached the battlefront, they did not need to fight anything because the Lord himself started to fight the battle for them. He bellowed and thundered from heaven, almost excited until the Philistines were confused. Come on, let me ask you a question. Did they need to go to war? Then why are you fighting? Did they need to prepare for battle? You need to prepare your heart. Did they need to sharpen up their swords? They needed to sharpen up their prayer lives. And when they were in order, God marched in order ahead of schedule and performed for them. But one problem you always find when you cross into Canaan is that manna stops. And many of us have an illusion of constant divine supply, even at a place when we must start laboring. Across Jordan, we don't do manna at all. I think I'm done with you, young man. If you get on verse 12 above, and verse 11, and then you drop onto verse 12, something interesting happens. When the Lord makes noise. Oh, I like that one. When the Lord makes noise, the enemy gets confused. The children get in line. So you must not get confused when your father is talking, so that you end up panicking like a pagan. When God makes noise, it is not to confuse you. It is to confuse them. When the word of God becomes confusion to you, you must know where you belong. When you find yourself angry with messengers of the word, you must know where you belong. When the word of God makes you uncomfortable, you must know where you belong. For you and God are never in competition. The word of God is never given to you to embarrass you. You are not in the same league with God. He makes noise so that the enemy can be confused and the children can begin to do battle. Then my Bible in beautiful passages, this is my own translation. When God was making noise in front and confusing them, the Israelites were following behind and killing them with their own swords. In other words, God was fighting ahead and they were chasing them from behind. That's a nice strategy. You know, next time, don't be in the front and put the real guy at the back. It's order here, order here. Put the real warrior in the front. And then you can collect the spoils as you are following behind the one who is fighting for you. Come on, you didn't hear me out there. There are battles in life you are not entitled to fight.